I don't know, my Instagram is full of people who actually draw for a living. So they have all those techniques, and they use charcoal in a very more effective way and more impressive way that I did. And that became like what's the point of this? There's so many.
Well, exactly. So as soon as you start compare, like the demonization of
But
comparison, like the
you can learn. You can learn. It's not about it's not about the how good Jamie Oliver cooks. You know, it's how good you can do it with an inspiration like Jamie Oliver in your kitchen. Fuck the world. It's just for yourself.
I told you last week, I'm kind of focused on music for the
Yeah.
next couple of months. I have one particular movie idea, another self-produced movie idea, where the climax is a musical performance of like a bass guitar. And despite all of the musical dabbling that I've done, I am just not proficient at anything. So I thought, instead of chasing something that, I'm not 100% on, why don't I, again, embrace the hobby of it and just start properly learning an instrument? Broadly speaking, the thing that I've had the hardest time with anytime that I've touched a guitar or the ukulele
The
is
ukulele.
strumming patterns. I'm like, I don't have a problem with chords, like which I think is the hard thing to do. Like I actually learned really,
Yeah.
really, really young for me was like once I figured out how to transition from chord to chord, like that was the hard thing. Like how
Right.
to shift from one chord to
And
another.
how to
That
keep it
was
because that hard on your how do you
exactly,
call
yeah.
this part of
The
your fingers?
calluses,
Yeah,
the
yeah, yeah.
calluses, your fingertip calluses. So this past week, I've been using Gemini for this, like very explicitly. Like this is like I have a very I can't get my head around strumming patterns. How do I do this? And it just gave me like a cheat sheet of like just work on this and here are the drills and like so
Right.
that was and along with my YouTube video or other not my YouTube videos other YouTube videos. So I've been working on strumming
AI,
patterns.
you're an AI consumer and
Mm-hmm.
pro AI. I should say.
I would say I'm more indifferent to I'm not going to be an AI booster, but I do advocate
Fair enough.
taking advantage of it while it's here. And where it makes sense. I
Right.
am
Yeah.
definitely anyone who's watched my channel knows has seen that
Yeah.
stuff.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that's where I'm at. Like I feel I'm starting to wrap my head around and get a handle on strumming patterns, which has always been
Right.
just like that has been my mountain. In the process of thinking about creative as a hobby, I have to tell you, like one of the very best and longest periods of very satisfying creative expression I've ever had was probably, I want to say, 2012 ish through maybe 2016. So it was a multi year time when I was doing my Seminal Works webcomic.
Oh, I
And
really
I
enjoyed that.
did you? Oh,
Yeah,
thank you so
I
much. I
did.
didn't even.
I did.
Yeah, yeah,
No, I was watching it. You were very prolific
for sure.
when drawing these little characters, and those characters
Yeah,
have a personality.
yeah, I ended up doing over 100 strips, which
Right.
again, like that's a lot. That's a lot to do, and I just have this very distinct memory of how satisfying that entire process was, and certainly at the end of it, to be able to have whether on the small scale on a single strip or the compendium of all the strips,
Yeah.
to have that body of work. What is your relationship with comic strips these days?
It's a very interesting topic to me because I'm always like consider myself not a comic book fan, but in a way I am because I'm so related, like so into the visual composition of a movie. And before you make a movie, you have to make a comic of the movie that we call a storyboard. If you have a one take, like in Hitchcock or whatever, you have a one shot sequence, you still have to have a visual language. And I understood like a very young age that was the like the blueprint of a movie, and I love movies, so I cannot turn my back on comic books.
Yeah, so you got like writing is the foundation of everything.
Yeah,
But
it's a
then
message that you
adding
wanna get across.
yeah, but adding the imagery or an illustration on top of that, that's like leveling it up. And then you could
Yeah,
like do a movie or something like that.
if
And my whole point is that I think back to that time when I was doing Seminal Works so fondly that I've tried to reclaim it so many times. I've done like the most recent was the Motherfuzzers comic strip, and I even now I'm like I have to add these to the website so that like they're on tapis.io or whatever it is, like a webcomic website index sort of deal. But I have to
yeah.
get them all logged onto my website. Anyway, there was a concept you and I were developing a while ago, and the title ended up being The Legend of the Emerald Wizard, and the idea was that it was going to be like this video game
Video
inspired
gaming, yeah,
levels
I remember about that.
where every episode was a different theme, a different or a different style, as these characters are traversing a digital space to find the Emerald Wizard. And kind of what struck me, or what I'm noodling with, and again, the whole idea is like, let's turn this into a hobby. Let's make this like low stakes, just it's a fun art project. That's it. So I want to call it The Legend of the Emerald Wizard, but it's almost a continuation of Seminal Works in that it is all of those same characters. And the whole premise is it is a literal interpretation of an internal mental fracture. And I did this in the original run where my character in the comic strip was losing his mind and he saw these different characters come to life and all this kind of stuff. So it's kind of that premise where he has two kids from an alternate timeline show up. There's a professor character that I've played with a lot, is like my grumpy avatar. And I never knew how to incorporate all of them together. And I basically just have this now. I've got this framework where they all become real in the world of this comic strip. I'm kind of excited about it. And it's like, oh, this is something that I can write. It's something I can draw to some extent because I'm a very much a graphic artist,
Yeah, I know.
illustrator.
You're like Andy Warhol. You're not gonna do it.
Yeah, I'll create the models, I'll create designs,
Yeah.
and then I'll get it vectorized, and then I'll just move models around, and then
Yeah,
hurry up and build the strip and move it on.
You're a baker, man.
So that's what I wanted to share. That's probably a story that we will be talking about later on, and there will be
Yeah, I'm excited about it,
definite
actually.
progress reports. What are you working on? Is there anything exciting you have to share? What's happening in your art world?
You know what? I was thinking about the same thing all week. Like, we are gonna record this conversation with Jordan, and I have to show him something. And I'm gonna be totally honest about it. My first thought was, let's make a drawing because I cannot draw very decent. I have my. I'm gonna show it to you something. I think I shared it with you, but I have my. Yeah, this one. It's Nosferatu.
Dude,
Yeah, it's
that's really good.
yeah, it's pretty decent. And I have
Is that
Marlon
pencil? That's pencil or charcoal?
charcoal.
Dude,
And
yeah, we've talked about that. We both love charcoal as a medium, right?
yeah, and I have pretty
Dude,
decent drawings.
no, I have not seen any of these. These are fantastic, especially the Nosferatu. I love the Nosferatu.
Oh, thank you, man. That was very special because we went on a vacation with my wife and my stepson and my stepdaughter, and we have like how do you call it, like telescope, because it's a very clear sky, and we were just laid down there. Looking at the sky, and I was drawing, and my wife was knitting, and my daughter was like doing a tweet or whatever the youngsters do these days, and I was drawing fucking Nosferatu, with the uh, how do you call it, the charcoal of the
Charcoal.
fire that we had on it.
Oh,
So it felt like very connected to the earth that we are, like it was a very a good experience. But the reason why my mind just went to Nosferatu is because I love silent film and I love very hard shadows and I love black and white and easy to follow stories. I love the John Wayne because he wear a fucking white hat and that's a good one. I love it. It's fun.
So for the Nosferatu drawing, were you like, did you have a reference image you were working off of? What was it? What was
Yes.
the process on for all
And
of that?
that's
And hold on, were you actually like actual using charcoal as a medium or like firewood charcoal? Like
firewood charcoal.
Okay, because that's what I thought you were saying, and I was like, that's actually pretty fucking interesting, dude.
Yeah, it was, and but the interesting part, I had a pencil, and I had this application, and it's very very useful tip for whoever person that wanna get into drawing. You download an app that makes a grid out of a reference image, and you just trust the grid and becomes like a very relaxing word outlining thing. That is like a very specific way that I did that drawing. I will not do that drawing like that anymore because as an artist or frustrated artist or whatever, you are consuming. I don't know. My Instagram is full of people who actually draw for a living, so they have all those techniques, and they use charcoal in a very more effective way and more impressive way that I did, and that becomes like what's the point of this? There's so many.
Well, exactly. So as soon as you start compare, like the demonization of
But
comparison, like the
you can learn. You can learn. It's not about. It's not about the how good Jamie Oliver cooks. It's how good you can do it with an inspiration like Jamie Oliver in your kitchen. Fuck the world, it's just for yourself. The thing is that I was thinking about the same question that you asked me. Like, what did you do? What are you doing right now creatively?
sure.
I don't know what should I do. Like, I have these many ideas, and I have so many projects that I want to tackle on, but I don't know where to start. So I stepped back and I said, okay, let's start with a drawing of the Night of the Seven Kingdoms, because I love the story. It's a simple task, like an exercise that you
Yes.
have, you must do, not because of the results of the exercise, because of the process.
I love that, let me take inspiration from the show that's right in front of me that I'm enjoying. There's enough interest and passion in what you are seeing that, all right, let's just drill. So I think that's brilliant, and I think that there's such an important aspect to that, an important thread across creative arts. Like, the hardest thing about writing is pretty much everything. Writing sucks. It's a very, very difficult thing to do.
Yeah, it's a painful thing.
But once you get the ball rolling, once it's going, and all of a sudden, once you have pages and pages and pages, you have momentum. And I think that's kind of like the idea behind drilling and practice, is that you are building a kind of momentum one way or the other. So I think that's smart, man.
Well, thank you. And I think that that's an advice, a very good advice. Like, start simple, not with writing your memoirs or something. Just fucking drawing of a single take that speak to you, because you have something to tell. And whatever medium it is, like music or visual or a drawing or whatever, you have something to say. I kind of make a relationship with the with this love and hate relationship that I have with my skate.
Rollerblades?
Yeah, rollerblades. And
Okay,
you
okay.
put your rollerblades. I have rollerblades.
Okay.
And I kind of use them, and I wanna be good at it, but I know I have to take a lot of falls, painful
Yeah.
falls. But there's no other way. Okay, so I bought protections for whatever because I
Yeah,
cannot
yeah.
I cannot gamble with my body anymore.
Yes. Yes. Getting
And
old sucks.
yeah, so I
We are
well,
both feeling it, my friend. We're both feeling it.
yeah, so I look at like a fucking ninja turtle with roller skates, but I'm doing it, and I know I'm gonna fall, and I know it's gonna fucking sucks, and it's gonna hurt, but I'm gonna get better at it, and as soon as I made my peace with it. Same with the creative stuff, like okay, I'm gonna make a drawing without the grid, and it probably is not gonna make like be proportional or something, but still one step closer. Like we talk about this. Like if you're not embarrassed of your first draft, you're doing something wrong.
Right.
Yeah, that
Well,
applies.
let's complete the circle here, right? Because
I'm still listening.
the creator economy and YouTube means, oh, as soon as you make, your first shitty piece of art, as soon as you skate you skate and fall down, like, oh, you have to post it, otherwise it didn't happen.
Yeah,
But hey,
right.
you're gonna suck, so maybe don't post it. Who gives a shit?
Or maybe post it and it could serve as an inspiration of
If
whatever.
if you can be
Milky was influential to this
okay,
to this
how so?
conversation.
That's interesting.
Yeah, if I hadn't seen this guy putting his heart out, maybe I be reluctant to share my views on whatever and put it on YouTube, right? So it inspires me in a way.
Sure.
Like you have the need, you have to. Well, it's going to come out in some way. Better be in a creative way if you are that guy, right?
Agree.